Talking about Gundy Awards. They should be giving out awards for these kind of looks, you know what I'm saying? Anybody got a mirror? I need to make sure my, who am I kidding? We're good. Hey, so let's figure out what your everyday carry pistol says about you. Part 1. Starting out, Smith & Wesson Model 27. The Model 27 357 Magnum 6-shooter. Honestly, this applies to just about any revolver on the market. Chances are, you're either a boomer who watched one too many John Wayne movies, or you're one of them goddamn hipsters. Revolvers have proven their reliability based on their design, and I'll give them that. But I'll also say that you've also proven your lack of brain cells.
What an idiot!
While they are reliable, you have 6 shots. And did you hear what I just f***ing said? Unless you're on that Jerry Mitchellek level, carrying around a speed loader, you ain't reloading that bad boy fast enough before you turn to goddamn Swiss cheese. Now, this may make you want to shit your britches a little bit, but this modern day technology does actually exist. It is some foreign, crazy gizmo known as a magazine, and it gives you the ability to reload your weapon much quicker, know what I'm saying? These things can hold anywhere from 5 to 20 rounds, depending on the pistol, sometimes more, sometimes less, I guess. You'd be kind of dumb to buy one that holds less. While you're probably one of those guys that says something to the likes of, "Ha, yeah, I don't need more than 1 shot." You should really go ahead and take a giant step back and, wake up to the reality of some shit. Because as much as you like to think you're fucking Chris Kyle with that thing and you're going to be sniping people from hundreds of yards away, it happens, you know? That dude, Donut Operator, he posted a video of a man taking 21 shots and was still standing. On the 22nd shot, that boy done finally dropped. Now, what the hell are you going to do when you got a 6-shooter and that boy done took all 6 shots and he's still standing there? I'll tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna fucking run. Because sometimes you need to reload. And when you gotta reload a revolver, it's a lot more timing needed than to just pop a magazine out and pop a new one in. So why don't you go ahead and put that empty space between your ears to good use and get yourself a modern day semi-auto pistol. Maybe throw an optic on it, provides faster target acquisition than your friggin' iron sights. Carry that revolver as a backup if you want, but doggone, don't be carrying that as your primary weapon. All you're doing is proving what a friggin' stunod you are, you know what I'm saying? Hey, next up, Glock 19. 9mm, double stack, 15 rounds. If you're the kind of guy who carries one of these, that tells me you love spending more money on, more of the same. You drool over that next gen that's gonna have 14 more individual stipples on the grip. I don't know about you, but 14 individual stipples ain't what's getting my rocks off these days. Especially 14 extra stipples on that 2x4 you call a grip, which you're probably gonna be changing out anyway, along with the sights, the barrel, the trigger, etc. Anyway, you'll be telling any and everybody about why you'll be replacing and keeping your Glock Gen 4 with a Gen 5, and you're the kind of guy who claims to, I don't care if I print. Meanwhile, you're walking through the damn streets with a Glock t-shirt and a Glock hat and a Glock tattoo and all that. That thing's so dang on boxy you can't not print, you know what I mean? I understand you bought it because it was probably the first handgun you bought, and that's because of Glock, if I'm being honest. You're more than likely to spend an average of 7 to 8 hours per week leaving comments on reviews of other gun manufacturers telling them why they're a friggin' trash form of life for not buying a Honda Civic. I mean a Glock. Did I say Civic? I meant to say Glock, okay? You're probably also the kind of guy who likes to make whoopee with other dudes, but hey, different strokes for different folks. No judgment on my end. Carrying a Glock 19, you're definitely stroking something, and that's just probably based on the account of your weapon choice, you know what I mean? Hey, next up, HKVP9. You get your rocks off at owning a highly engineered German-made pistol. You like to tell people it's not as much of a pistol as it is a work of art. You probably went ahead and rushed your yuppie ass home from that gun store so you could take a picture of your new VP9 with your Beamer in the background to upload it to the friggin' Instagrams with the hashtag German Excellence or some weird like that. You're a wannabe elitist and laugh at the thought of people owning something like a Glock or a Springfield despite the fact you absolutely paid more money for your polymer frame pistol. Chances are you believe the MP5 is the finest firearm ever created, and therefore you feel you need to show your support by owning anything HK. With that being said, that MP5 is a phenomenal piece of machinery. There's also probably a chance you don't want any peasants shooting their pistols around your HK at the range for the fear that your HK might catch their SPD or pistol disease. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you ever garner the ability to unscrew your head from your you might be able to actually come to the realization that you overpaid for your pistol. And that's okay. That's neither here nor there. The first step is just admitting you got a problem. But hey, then again, you aren't going to let some scumbag who paid under $1,000 for their pistol tell you why you're a jack. Hey, next up, Kimber 1911, pretty much any size. You're somewhat akin to a Taurus owner, except you got probably a little more funds available. You love the fact that this gun was designed, kinda, by our Lord and Savior John Moses Browning. Except deep down, you probably occasionally tear up because you know it will never ever be a Colt. Anything with that Kimber name on it is like a fine woman in a nice dress, high heels, and also she's a therapist the upwards of 3 to 4 times a week. Beautiful on the outside, and absolutely nuttier than squirrel shit on the inside. But hey, if that's your thing, then that's your thing. More power to you. Kimber brand used to produce nice pistols, and now they produce pistols which are probably, if these are Kimber pistols, this is well shit, you know what I'm saying? But you probably don't buy into that malarkey. You more than likely love to tell people when you carry a 1911, but you aren't as quick to tell them that it's a Kimber 1911, you know what I'm saying? You're probably a big fan of the patina that comes on them brand new from the factory pistols. If you don't believe me on that one, tough shit, kick rocks, go on and Google it. You should have just bit the bullet, spent an extra $1,000 and get yourself a doggone Colt 1911. That way you can be proud to actually tell people you're owning a 1911 and not some bullshit knockoff. Or you do you, keep showing off that fine psychopath of a woman pistol you carry. Just like your marriage, probably won't end well. Hey, if you like the video so far, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button. Unless you're a Glock guy, I'm assuming you already clicked that thumbs down, went to talk shit in the comments, and now you're probably on the next video of a SIG or something talking shit as well. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Speaking of SIG, back to it with the P320. If you're carrying a SIG P320, you've probably read every book written by every former SEAL Team 6 member. American Sniper is probably your favorite movie, and you also love owning a pistol that decides when it wants to shoot, not when you want it to shoot. You know what I'm saying? You're very quick to tell people about how great that gun is, but you really, the cat's got your tongue when it comes to the drop tests. You know what I'm saying? You're not very quick to tell them about how good or bad those drop tests are. And that's alright, we know. You don't need to tell us. You gotta always make sure you holster that thing like there's a baby sleeping in the other room on the off chance you go ahead and Plexico Burris yourself. You're more than willing to be that SIG guinea pig and just figure out the hard way how well that drop safety works, you know what I'm saying? I'll give it to them. SIG makes a great product. But you also make a great dumb because you may have found yourself owning the one with the biggest flaw. You were also probably a jackass and didn't want to go without having your P320, so you never sent it in for the recall work to have it fixed. Good work, pal, and now you're one solid sneeze away from deleting your deal, if you know what I'm saying. Do yourself and everybody else a favor, swallow your pride, admit it's a flaw, and fix the doggone trigger, you nasty. Next up, Smith & Wesson M&P Shield. Chances are you're one of them young bucks, because if you were a boomer, you'd probably be too proud and pissed at the world to be caught dead carrying a new Smith & Wesson. You'd most likely be too busy complaining about how they're cheap shit plastic guns now to buy yourself one. Not to mention you probably remember the boycott of Smith & Wesson from the 90s, and you still hold that to be true today. Much like others, you went middle of the road on this one. Dare I say, you bought the Toyota Corolla of the concealed carry world. Cheap and reliable, but definitely not the best the market has to offer. You probably overlooked the fact that this is a big choice for women in the concealed carry market. You do whatever you want with that information. You might start growing a pussy carrying that puppy, but hey, no judgment. You probably love telling the story about how long Smith & Wesson's been in the game, and that's why you bought one. Except you probably don't know a ton about the game as is, and that's why you bought a shield in the first place. Your great-grandpappy probably carried a Model 3 back in 1885, and your grandpappy and pappy carried updated versions of it. Kudos to you for unearthing your head from your ass and understanding carrying a 6-shooter in today's day and age just is not the smartest option. Or maybe you just alternate between a revolver and your shield, in which case, you're still a jackass. Last and definitely least, the Hi-Point C9. This tells me you aren't actually serious about concealed carry. You're the kind of person who wanted to buy a handgun, and when you were asked for your budget, you thought, $130 sounds about right. If you're torn between buying 5 cases of Coors Light and buying some protection for you and your family, I'll be the first to say I understand the dilemma, and that's a hard bargain, but if that's the price tag you put on your and your family's lives, then man, you may need to reevaluate some things, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a good chance you know little to nothing about firearms. You may have gone to the range once or twice in your life, and you thought, hey man, I should probably get a gun. But where you done fucked up was the fact that you thought $130 was a good price tag to put on your life. You've definitely thought at one point in time when you run out of ammo, you could start using that 8-pound brick you call a pistol and start clocking some skulls, you know what I'm saying? Because when you can't hit the broadside of a barn, that's what you'll be doing anyway. This gun is the #1 go-to for criminals, and dare I say, it was definitely voted most likely to turn up in a local river after a murder in the high school yearbook. Now hey, I don't know you may identify with that last group, but if you don't want to, you may want to consider other options. You should also consider spending a little more than $130 on something that could make or break your life, you know what I'm saying? Or just say fuck it, start carrying around a Louisville Slugger. It'll give you a little more accuracy and range than swinging around that brick. Pistol. But hey, brick also works. Stay tuned for part 2 of what your everyday carry pistol says about you. Be sure to click that like and subscribe button so you can stay tuned for more videos just like this. Hey, what's that other jackass usually say? Stay safe? Yeah, something like that. Stay safe, don't buy a revolver, and go ahead and unearth your head from your ass. See ya.